Okay, yeah, I know this should have been, half an hour ago, but I got lost track of stuff, doing things and chatting. So it is Star Trek Day. So what do we do as Trekkies? We bitch. Okay, it's time to bitch and moan about what the state of the art is. Let me go ahead and throw a few links so we can get a discussion going here. Go and get the proper exploitation out there. Got to get on here. All right. Oh, let's skip that. All right, this should draw a crowd. Because it's finally something. It's not about Indy. It's about something I actually talk about. I know something about. Let's get that out there. And not to say I know anything about Indy, but hey, But yeah. Of course, Facebook's coming. There we go. All right. All right. So. And iron. Hey, okay. Basically, actually, I probably should have. Hold on. Instead of the stand thing, we should treat this like one of those state of the franchise things here. What we got? Let's see. Did I bother to save intro? Yes, here we go. So let's go ahead and start. Yep. Hey, Steamy. All right. And bro, let's go ahead and once this thing loads. Yeah, let's start this off properly here. This is going to be a kind of a state of the franchise thing. Okay. Actually, in universe, I could see that being the Federation anthem. That works better. It works better as a national anthem thing for the Federation. Whereas the original series, that's a pop song was because we heard it as incidental music in a few parties here and there and in bars. So, but okay, I was going through Sidetrack did a live stream earlier talking about a lot of stuff and mainly about a little more of the details of the plans they got for Star Trek when Skynet finally has their hands on it and can actually exert some control and also start questioning why are we doing this. And apparently also little detail about Lower Decks was not canceled for bad ratings. The numbers were solid. It was purely a secret hideout decision. Kurtzman said, "No, that's it. We're why? Live action shows are one thing, but the anime you could keep this thing going forever." And so it's like, again, I'm hoping somebody will have some sense here. It's no, we want to keep doing this one. And so just cut Secret Hideout out of the deal with because Mike McMahon has his own deal with CBS and Paramount. So cut a separate deal for him to produce more of this. And again, it would be perfectly in line to retitle it something else. So technically make it a new series, but with the same character, same setting, and keep on moving. Because really, all the characters are no longer on the Lower Decks. They're all lieutenants. They've got their own quarters. Or at least they're sharing quarters with a roommate, but so they could, retitle it like Star Trek Cerritos, Star Trek Middle Deckers, whatever, and just pick up right where they leave off. And by the way, so sneak preview coming up of season 5. Mike McMahon put this out, and it's on YouTube. But they show the thing we're getting one of these little collectors, and Dendy comes in with her ship, and it was a really good scene. So it's gonna be but A lot of it is like they are seriously looking at Starfleet Academy, and it's like, why? This is strictly a vanity project on the part of Kurtzman. And they say they're going back to Roddenberry's original thing, that Roddenberry was opposed to an Academy show. Every time they brought it up, he would shoot it down. So how the hell are they basing this on Roddenberry's thing when Roddenberry said, no, we're not interested in the Academy years. We're out there following experienced officers who are actually in the field. You don't put cadets out there. So as usual, Kurtz was talking out of both sides of his mouth and thinking he's singing. No, you're farting. Okay. And they're already in production. They have not started principal photography yet, but they have started some production on it. And I think they're going, well, we're already in production. We have to keep, maybe not. Because they could really be assholes about it. No, you're done. You're done. We're shutting this down. We're finishing up Strange New Worlds, and that's it. You're done. Because any studio contract worth its weight, worth the paper it's written on, has got to have a clause in there for the studio to have ultimate control, where they can pull the plug. And that's the thing with this. Wonder what the hell they were thinking. And there's stuff. Okay.
Asshole.
Yeah, see, she's still alive. Okay.
Yeah, contrary to the delusions of a few.
Mm-hmm. But this thing's like, where the hell the Moonbase got up given this, where basically he just gave Kurtzman carte blanche over Star Trek and his time. I think it was just one, because Moonbase didn't give two shits about Star Trek. He hates science fiction anyway, but for some reason he had a bug up his ass about Star Trek. Yeah, I'll go and get that up here.
Hey, bro.
But
you sweet thing.
All right. Just wondered, because this thing is set up such that like they got so dominion over Star Trek. They were he didn't give a shit. He just make us some money. Well, the end result is they've blown so much money on these projects, and I think Star Trek's probably not the only problem in this, but it's a big chunk. Because Star Trek shows, by their nature, are very expensive to produce.
Okay.
And there's Steamy.
Hey, honey.
Yeah.
I thought I'd give you a bit of news.
Okay.
They just gave me a list of rehab facilities and had me pick out 4 or 5.
Okay.
At least 2 of them are in Wheat Ridge, so hopefully I'll get one of those too.
That's good. Okay. Need something local.
The rest are all in Lakewood.
Yeah. Lakewood. South of 20th is Lakewood. Okay. So it's still local. Granted, Lakewood goes down quite a way south, but it's still, better than Littleton. Definitely better than Aurora.
Please, I don't want to go to butt Aurora.
Just on general purposes, but especially not now.
Not with the Venezuelan street gang.
No. We're about to have a gang war on the east side of town, guys. I think it's part of the old thing of these guys think they come from Venezuela, they just move in and take over the base, and that don't work here, Sparky. Especially again, the usual thing is that they're not coming. The Hells Angels are, because they do have a chapter. We've driven by their headquarters, their local chapter thing a few times. Still by Pagliacci's restaurant in that area. So it looks like. It's not just, please, angels, come and save us. It's like, what's in it for us? No, because odds are that they messed with a Hell's Angel that lived in the area or is in the area, whatever. So if they're coming, that's why. And they're bringing a fight they don't want.
Yeah, tell Rosetta to get her double eyes in here.
Rosetta is probably still resting up. Well, I don't know. Well, I put the group chat. So we'll see. But again, I want to keep this on a Star Trek rant for a while here, so we don't get sidetracked on Ultimate comes to Aurora. But yeah, I think it's like. But apparently, the way Paramount is looking, they're going to try and get away from this overall blanket deal where Kurtzman is the ground poobah of all things Star Trek and all this infinite stupidity. He's running it right into the damn ditch. And it'll be a show-by-show basis. It'll be back to the traditional thing. No, the studio controls the thing. You just produce it for us.
Hi.
Oh.
Okay.
So just one night. Okay, trying you. Reposition you?
They repositioned me earlier.
Did they swap your bed yet?
No, they haven't swapped my bed yet.
It's still in the damn hallway?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know where else it'd be. They're sitting out there and had a note for your room on it. Yeah, they're going to swap out her hospital bed. She's in the hospital right now, for those are tuning in. And they're dealing with some stuff, and we're looking at probably into a rehab facility for a couple of weeks, which, again, in the long term, yeah, it's going to be hell for her because she wants to be home, but it'll give me time to finally straighten this place out. Bring in some order to the chaos at this point. You know, finally getting a chance. Okay, now, but part of the thing's been over. It's just everything's just sort of piled up. No organization whatsoever. And I'm, I got enough OCD that it's like, just start shorting things out. So I think
OCD?
A little bit. It's not obsessed.
You said ODD.
Oh, whatever. I said OCD.
No, you said ODD.
Well, whatever. Anyway, I got enough of it there. It's like, my little problem solving and organizational skills are fine if you give it time to cook up a little bit. Needs time to analyze the situation and value. Okay, why if we do this, then? But if I said, we have not had an organized move since 2001. Maybe 2002.
No fucking shit.
Yeah. It's been, we got to get out now. Just throw it in a pile. And then about the time you start to get something organized and something else happens, like, no. Now we're finally in a position where you actually say, okay, now we're going to get this straight. And I finally realized, okay, well, actually, if we get rid of this stack over here, which I was planning on getting rid of anyway, then I can move those over here. Yeah, so yeah, just give me time. I will eventually figure out a plan and it'll work. But you got to give me time to think and not disrupt my train of thought. But
you think?
Yeah, you're not helping. Okay, but yeah, they're looking at trying to get a show by show deal. So again, it's not as far as in a way, all of the stuff that Secret Hideout has produced puts them in the same position as with Filmation producing the animated series, and Paramount Television just distributed it. So when it come time Next Generation, and some of the writers wanted, how about we bring back? Well, no thing is, if we use an Edoan or a Cation, those are from the animated series, and if we do that, we have to pay Filmation a check. You have to write a check to Filmation. That's why it was not canon for a few years. It wasn't Roddenberry didn't like anymore. Roddenberry would say anything to get out of a conversation he didn't want to be in. Did this all the damn time. He made him a great producer. But his relationship with the truth was often a little bit, at arm's length.
Sketchy.
So, he learned at a very early age. Sometimes a quick lie will get you out of thing faster than trying to defend yourself. So, fine. You got blamed for something he didn't do, but he was just cop to it and move on. So he learned that at a very early age. So it's like, and the animated series had to sit on the shelf for a while, walled off because we can't touch that. There are certain elements. Okay, yeah, April being first captain of the Enterprise, Spock having a fucked up childhood, and certain aspects. Yeah, those originate from like the original series pitch and episodes of the original series. Those we can refer to. But the incidents in the Counterclink incident, no. Spock going back in time to save his younger self, no. Can't say that. Other things, though, yeah. But again, as the legal process wore on, shortly after Roddenberry's death, unfortunately, that's when it finally got wrapped up, and Filmation was now back in the fold to start. It was made canon again. You started getting references, mainly in DS9, because they were like chomping at the bit. And you had Kor talking about his old ship, the Clothos. That was from Time Trap. That was his ship in the time and identified in Time Trap. Garrick talked about tending to Edosian orchids on Romulus. That's that Edo. Lieutenant Eriks was an Edoan. So that was a direct reference to that. And in Enterprise, you had a couple of references to the Kazwan ceremony, which is from yesteryear. So they started coming in once they got the heads. And again, the biggest flag there, that when it was finally on, because Filmation was also putting out DVD releases of old Filmation shows, and they would come out under Filmation. When Star Trek: The Animated Series came out, it was on CBS Home Video.
Honey.
That's the biggie. The only time you saw Filmation was in the episode itself.
Honey.
And they even had a discussion in the extras about, is it canon? And David Gerald said, look, it was produced by Gene Roddenberry. Showrun was Dorothy Fontana. You had the original cast. You had a lot of the original writers. A lot of the scripts were originally pushed for. It's a canon. Okay, stop that. It's silly.
Honey.
Yes. Don't interrupt the rant.
Well, I just wanted to say I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and watch it again, but I think there was a reference to Edoans in Discovery.
Could have been, because this is long past the point where. Well, not about Discovery, but we saw one in lower decks.
What exactly do Edoans look like? I'm forgetting.
The orange guy with 3 legs, 3 arms. That's Lieutenant Eriks.
That dude.
Yeah. That one ship with all the the sick people that go in the con, it's probably about Edoan.
Huh.
That's kind of one of the mission statements of Mike McMahon to show the original animated series is proper love and respect. So they've got animated series references all through that show. Part of it is because, because they felt, the animated series was really kind of relegated. Like, well, yeah, that happened, but no, it's part. They did not want Lower Decks to be relegated like that. And again, they even got that 40-foot tall Spock from the Independent Vulcan. He had a skeleton hang up there. So yes, even that has been brought into canon. Okay.
Hey, Schmoopy. You should put my Funko on display.
It's still in the box in your room, okay? Let me just worry about that later.
I know, but
I got too much stuff to display,
Yeah,
I got a bunch of posters that I kind of liberated from My Light Comics back. I got no place to put them.
I'm not seeing that Wonder World top, or that Wonder Woman top.
She's back here somewhere.
She's supposed to be on top of that cup.
I know the cup is. I don't know where she's fallen to, but things being knocked around here. So I don't know. That's one of the things But again, the main priority is cleaning up out front. This is if I can get around here, who cares? But progress on what will be the canon version of the Discovery. Got the intercoolers on. Got the intercoolers on there. Got to paint this here. Then I can stick the control. I'm using the terms in the instruction manual. So the control reactors, whatever the hell they are. I probably call them something else on my deck plans, but for convenience sake. But yeah, I finally got paint, so I get in the proper color. Get them attached there. Paint the sucker up. Gloss coat it, decals. And that'll be my commemoration of Discovery finally ending. Okay, here's what the ship really looked like. This is the proper timeline version of Discovery.
Oh boy. You know, I still think the only thing they got right in Discovery was when they brought in Anson Mount as Pike.
They're kind of going crazy with the hair.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Hunter did not have a pompadour. Okay, they're getting ridiculous. I think also by then Ray Liotta had died. Ray Liotta had been perfect as Pike.
Yeah.
And he's done some oddball sci-fi. He would have gone for it, I think. Especially, he doesn't. He looks too old. Well, no, there would have been a period where Pike would be older. You can see them. No, but they're apparently one of the things about this. What Star Trek is that they are getting a little irritated about Strange New Worlds because we're going to be bumping up against the original series. And hold it right there. Okay. You do not have the license to go trampling over what came before you, you untalented hack. Yeah. Why is that? There we go. All right. And sort of question, why was this set up like this in the first place? Because you knew this was what was going to happen. Let's see. What do we got here? Actually, I think it's probably best to leave the Romulan War alone. So, and have I'm one of the things they should revive Enterprise as a series. Get the band back together. Especially to undo These Are the Voyages. There's so much wrong with that episode to begin with. It doesn't even fit within the confines of the Pegasus. Because there was no point anywhere where Riker could pop off to the holodeck for hours on end, just sort of personal demons. We saw the sequence all through that episode. Where is he going to sneak? That's another case of
Darn it.
What? As for Rob Burnett, he's doing 2 shows today. So I was trying to coerce him into a stream. Like, hey, you're up. No, you already had his own thing. Fine. So I throw it back. Okay. Back to the old refrain. Let me know when you're available. I can throw some up and we'll give him a Trek rant for the ages.
Anyway, honey. The bassist from Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side died.
Oh, well. We're all getting old.
Yes, you're officially an old fart.
Yeah. But yeah, just bring back Enterprise. It doesn't even have to be full 20 episodes. It's just, like the current model. 10 episodes, fine. But want to wrap that up. And again, undo These Are the Voyages. Because, again, it's also Marina Sirtis had visibly aged. I mean, yeah. What Jonathan Frakes is in great shape. His uniform was actually they get in the same uniform. He's actually loose on him. But it's like, no, it doesn't mean that a simple change in that instead of using the Pegasus as thing, have it where Riker is talking to worried about assuming command of the Titan, and that's where he's having the crisis of confidence. That would have worked. That would have accounted for the age, and and it would not have come across as we're ending Enterprise as a holodeck episode on Next Generation, which insulted everybody pretty much. Yeah.
Ow.
It's like the cast. Really, we're doing this. We're not even ending on our own show. We're ending on their show. And nobody, and even Berman and Bragg, they had good intentions, but it fell flat. That it's like no. So that's the one episode I think. That's the one episode I would drop from canon. Just flat out, it doesn't work. There's just too much wrong with it all over the place. It's just, no. And I'm in argument for even the cage should be because by way of the menagerie. Because they're trying. Well, there's certain. No, that's like saying you're kind. That's saying you're sort of pregnant. No, it's in. Okay. But really, the proper Enterprise finale was like the episode before. And someone said, actually, if they had done These Are the Voyages somewhere in the middle of the season, maybe it wouldn't be quite so reviled. Maybe because it'd be easier to ignore because it's being followed up by much better stuff. But I'm not sure. But I think even that, it's like, no, it just doesn't work. But yeah, that's the big news. I mean, they showed the NX-01 refit at the Fleet Museum. That by itself also negates These Are the Voyages. Because in These Are the Voyages, the Enterprise wasn't refit. There was no secondary hull. So just showing that ship there, and yep, there we go. Terry Metalis was on a mission in that series, that last season. Yeah, that's enough. They have, show Trip alive and well and still engineer of the Enterprise.
Oh boy!
In a series, so no, I didn't. Why? I'm gonna die like that. What the hell? Am I stupid? But yeah, get him back, and then I think considering the amount of time that's gone by, set this just after the Romulan War. And establish viewpoints, because I think I had a little back and forth with Doug Drexler, because I was trying to get the attention that this guy is probably what Berman would have approved as the Daedalus class on screen. Because so far, no, they'd never actually shown a Daedalus class, but he made a point. No, you could make that ship. But also, his view was that the Daedalus class, the tennis ball and beer can design, was actually pre-NX. It just held on a long time. That ship was actually probably, I don't know, the nomenclature at the time. NC maybe, I don't know. ND, somewhere early in that before they got to the saucer part. Because we saw NV, NW, N1, so. But that was a very old ship design. They again managed to hold on for a while and just made it into the Federation Starfleet. But that could okay, all right, I'll buy that. But that still puts this thing between the NX class and this jobber, which no, I do not call the Constitution class because it's still differences. If you go by the bridge module, which are probably universal plug-in things, this ship is maybe about 10 feet shorter and a little blockier than the Constitution class. I call it the Bonhomme Richard class. Well, yeah, I would leave it alone for the most part because I don't want to wrap it up. I leave it as fodder for future stories. Get some general parameters here and there, a few key battles. But for the most part, no, let's leave that a mystery. You need something a little bit. Like we don't have a definitive record of what actually happened. So that we can occasionally go back and make something up. And again, part by reading, making a Star Trek as a kid, I look at this show as a producer. Okay, let's set things up here for future stories. Okay, I don't need to lay everything out. That's for the individual writers to do. But yeah, you get a few things here. I don't know. We'd have to go, but what do we actually know about that? But maybe establish what ship Captain Styles was a captain of, during the thing.
Nah.
But I think it's like, as close as you can with Enterprise, you want to move forward. Okay. And enough time has gone by. The Enterprise ended in 2005. It's now 2024. But it's been 19 years. I don't think the Romulan War lasted quite that long. Okay.
Ow.
I think Berman is happily retired, but I imagine he would be happy to take a few phone calls. But Metalis is around. He started on DS9 as a staffer. So. Well, again, most part that great minds ain't gonna like that. As a pre-NX, it's like where you haven't settled on a saucer design. We're still playing around with that. It works.
Get your butt cheeks in here, Iron.
Link is in the group chat. So.
And I'm in the fucking hospital. I need somebody to brag on.
Yeah. The thing is, probably had a better connection there than they would here.
And I need a cat to drool over.
Anyway. But, like I said, they're looking at trying to get more show-by-show basis going forward. And again, I'm probably looking at a lot of things of why are we doing this? Nobody wants this, especially they've seen the reactions to Star Trek, the Starfleet Academy, where the general it's going to be Star Trek 90210.
Oh dear God!
That's not a vote of confidence on the part of the fans who are saying that, and the studio is making notice. Why are we doing this? Nobody wants this. You're already starting off the gate. People do not want this. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going by Roddenberry's real thing. No, you're not, because Roddenberry didn't want an Academy show. Whenever they mention cadets, that dragged him out of retirement.
Yeah, speaking of Star Trek people, I actually saw somebody besides Susanna Thompson from I think it was from Renegades that showed up in episode of NCIS today.
Okay.
Yeah, Corky Nemec.
All right.
And yes, even though Renegades is not exactly canon,
no,
I consider it part of the whole thing.
Yeah, Section 31, I think we kind of dodged a bullet with that. That was going to be a series.
Oh, give me a break about Section 31.
But they managed to cut first one off of the knees. No, you'll get a movie. And it's only being released as a tax write-off now. Because the trailer, really? You're idiots.
Yeah.
It's only going on streaming, so if they watch. If they don't, well, guess what?
If they do decide to make proper Star Trek going forward, they should get Melanie Shatner's husband in there somewhere.
Well, I'm sure he'll come highly recommended by Bill. No, there are plans regarding Legacy. But in order to do that, they're going to have to get Kurtzman out of the way. He refuses to do it.
Yeah, isn't Jerry Ryan supposed to be in that somewhere?
Legacy? He was made captain of the Enterprise.
What was the Titan, actually?
Yeah, well, that's a highly convoluted refit thing. They just recycled bits of it and kept some components. So it's really a stretch calling it a refit.
Yeah, well, let's just say the ex-Mrs. Ryan has done so well for herself.
Well, again, there are plans for a Legacy, because they know the fan response was off the charts on that. Yes, this is what we want, but Kurtzman's being an asshole. Yeah, I want to do Academy. And apparently, if they made him do Legacy, he would sabotage it. He said flat out no.
Alec Kurtzman is a window licker.
Yeah. You're on my channel. He's a retard. Okay.
Either way, he licks windows with the best of them.
Mm-hmm. No, on Paramount Plus YouTube channel, they're doing. I think they're still doing it. For Star Trek, they having the first episodes of all the series. It took a while to find DS9. Okay, they really didn't put out that.
Actually,
Yeah, exactly.
I seem to recall.
Because Mattel knows how it's made and showed him. That's how you do it.
I seem to recall. Sci-Fi Channel doing something like that once.
I tried watching Star Trek on the Sci-Fi Channel, but they, the syndication packages with the commercials was bad enough. Sci-Fi was literally interrupting scenes mid-line to start a commercial break. No.
You think Paramount Plus doesn't do that?
Theirs mainly is because the automated system picks the wrong spot to start the commercial. I'm talking about it was like the menagerie. As Kirk starts asking a question, cut the commercial. You're nowhere near the fucking commercial break. And you're starting a commercial in the mid-conversation. You assholes. What the fuck are you doing? That's it. I did not even bother going back trying to watch any more of them.
Yeah, well, the thing I'm talking about is there was a special where they did a whole bunch of series finales,
Yeah.
on there. It wasn't just.
Well, Turnabout Intruder wasn't exactly a finale. It was just that last episode.
Yeah,
and that kind of ties into why the fan movement got going in the first place. It's unfinished business. Hey, we ain't done yet,
Yeah, but this wasn't just Star Trek. They went into shows like, let me see, Bionic Woman.
Yeah.
And I think the very last one on that particular special was Quantum Leap.
Yeah. No, I don't mind commercials if they're in the proper spot, and there are act breaks in the story. Music swells up, fade to black. There's your commercial break. We can then charge more for your damn commercials. People will pay for it.
Yeah.
Listen, I've got a reconstruction of Space Seed as it aired. Technically, it's the first network rerun, but it's still as it ran on NBC. From the following program, brought to you in living color on NBC, and the teaser, opening titles, first commercial break, Star Trek, sponsored by Polaroid, maker of the new camera break, and then, and commercial breaks back then, most of them were literally one commercial. You had one ad, back to the show. Nowadays, it is literally, they have to throw a little blur in the meeting. You're watching such and such because there's so many damn commercials, you forget what you were watching in the first place.
Jesus.
Like the only time they ran more, it was like the last commercial break, there's like 3 quick, 30-second ads.
And network television.
In fact, actually, I'm not even sure. I think it's like before the. No, I'm not through yet. The thing is, Act 4, 3 quick breaks, and then next week on Star Trek, they're doing it. Well, that's why, the original series, those episodes, runtime was like 52, 53 minutes. What do we got here? No, the Kelvin is the size of the Enterprise D. It's ridiculous. And again, the numbers like makes no fucking sense. It's throw things. Oh, that's right. No, that's not how it works, JJ. And again, I like that clip when JJ was on the Daily Show. And growing up, I'd never got Star Trek, and they runs through a spiel, and then Jon Stewart said, I stopped listening after you said I never liked Star Trek. There was just sort of blah blah blah. I'm with Rob Burnett on this one. I was never a fan. Then why the fuck are you directing this movie? Why are we handing the keys to this project if you don't even like the thing on the front page? Get the fuck out of my office. Get off the lot. Send in the next one. So get me Ron Howard now. Okay?
Yeah.
This is a fucking fan. God.
Oh, that would be kind of fun, actually.
That's the thing. There's a laundry list of... Actually, Rob Burnett was part of a team that was trying to put together something. But when JJ in the picture, they shit canned everything. Like, wow, gee, thanks.
Honey?
Mm-hmm.
You just made me think of something.
What?
Be kind of fun to get Ron Howard's brother back on there again.
Clint has been in every... Hell, he showed up on Discovery.
Yeah, it was on Enterprise at one point.
Yeah, he played a Ferengi in Enterprise. I think he may have been one of the homeless guys in DS9 of the Bellarites. I don't know. But he played some, I think, drugged out Orion in Discovery. Welcome to the show.
Look. Ah, dirt.
All right.
I'm actually watching through Deep Space Nine right now. Well, second, but...
No, I went through...
Not the DVDs, because fuck you, Paramount Plus.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the DVD set for the entire series is like $100 over at Walmart, so that's going to have to wait a while. Kind of a tight spot right now, but...
I'm still looking for a full set of Next Gen that... I found one once, and it had all of Season 1 missing, and like one disc of Season 5 missing. I'm like, that's not really a complete set then, is it?
Well, that's when you go on eBay, start looking for replacement discs. No, I've got the original series on Blu-ray. I've got Enterprise on Blu-ray. Lucked into a cheap set on that one. And I got the first 2 seasons of Next Gen on Blu-ray. They're doing that while they're still doing individual seasons, but now it's like the entire set. I don't know.
Just before the show got really good with Season 3.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I'm not quite, whether to continue doing the individual season sets, which I can stretch out, or just get it in one big lump.
Take it.
But DS9 and Voyager, I had to just get DVD on that because the way they were composited, a lot of stuff was done on video. High def is not the way you want to go on that. They'd have to completely recomposite everything from scratch, more than they did on Next Gen.
Okay, I take it you've seen some of the Star Trek movies?
I heard it was the same with the Stargate SG-1 Blu-rays. Sorry, I just wanted to say that real quick. I've seen all of them. Much to my shame, I saw the J.J. Abrams ones. Although, here's the thing. First one, Into Darkness, horrible.
Yeah.
Beyond, step in the right direction, I felt.
But still, very much.
It was better than Into Darkness.
That's not saying much, okay?
It's something, and
there are movies that went coming soon to your drive-in theater near you that were better than Into Darkness. Okay.
Beyond paid a decent tribute to Leonard Nimoy, both Leonard Nimoy and Anton Yelchin, who sadly passed before the movie came out.
Yeah.
And that was wow, just reading about that, like...
Yeah, that was just... was something. I think they finally did a recall on that one. Finally, I killed a celebrity. Not
Well,
they had some issues with that Jeep for a while, but
Oh.
I was just gonna say, there's a scene in Star Trek 4 that involves one of our local news anchors out here.
Oh yeah.
I found out quite by accident.
Well, he wasn't. He was a struggling actor at the time out in L.A.
They like you very much, but they are not the hell your whales.
Actually, it was Leonard Nimoy who got this guy to come on board.
Let me throw it in. This guy Tom Mustin. He's mainly out here as a news. I think he's still working on here as a news anchor. I don't know if he's Channel 4 anymore, but
7.
He's a 7 now. Okay, he was at Channel 4 for a long time, weekend anchor. But at the time, he was an up and coming actor. It's basically the scene in the elevator with the two doctors going at it. The blonde guy, the kind of Noah Wiley type, that's him. He was doing some kind of play. Nimoy spotted, hey, want to be in a movie? But yep, that was it. It was while I was researching stuff on the updated concordance and going through actor files because I got a box right here of all of Bijo's 3.5-inch discs on the files, and mainly I was looking because Jane Wheatland's in there. Different spelling of her name. It's like IE and EI. It's like I'm not sure which one is accurate. But then also Tom Mustin. Okay. If that is the same Tom Mustin, I know exactly what scene. There the DVD. Yep, that's him. Very distinctive voice and nose.
Just one of those weird things that actually I found out about because he was looking.
So why is this classified as a rant?
Well, I did the ranting earlier.
Oh.
We're kind of melting until they hit another subject I can go rant about. But no, I still one day that's a rant right there. The final update, the Star Trek Concordance, is kind of on indefinite hold because the people in charge do not want to share royalties or credit. And
I take it
that's evidence of the whole thing of all the writers and stories they have ripped off during the course of Strange New Worlds and Brian's Discovery. They just ripped off a Ursula K. Le Guin story wholesale, even acknowledged it in an interview. Yeah, this Ursula K. Le Guin story. You ripped her off. You owe her estate money, you sniveling little bastard.
Maybe that's why the Outpost podcast series is on hold also.
Yeah. It's like, when they invoke the Guardian of Forever. Then to make sure Harlan Ellison is conveniently dead first, because he apparently had it in his will. Do not let Star Trek touch City in the Edge of Forever. What do? I'm the Guardian of Forever. You can, if you listen carefully, the right kind of ears, you can hear Harlan Ellison saying, "You bastards! I'll get you for this. It's the last thing I fucking do. I will haunt you to the end of fucking time."
Did they put that in as a joke?
No, I'm saying this is like if you know anything about Harlan Ellison.
Oh,
and then the way he still had a bug up his ass about the way they treated him with that script, even after technically making peace with Roddenberry and working with him on a pitch for the first movie again. That's still stuck in his craw.
But City on the Edge of Forever went on to be like the best episode of the original series. One of the best. But it's like because what was his problem with it?
It wasn't the story he wanted, though.
Oh.
Yeah, if you...
And Dorothy Fontana put in, like when they did the trade paperback, or he did a big, long essay about what all involved with it and what happened. And then the script. And then some afterwards, one from David Gerald, but one from Dorothy Fontana. Said if he had submitted this to like the Twilight Zone or Outer Limits, it probably wouldn't have gone largely as is. But you're dealing with established characters in a continuing show, and it's like he's finished his story, he moves on to something else. We got to live with these guys afterwards. There's no way the next week we can look at Kirk the same way if he was willing to throw away the entire galaxy, his entire timeline for the sake of
What?
Do you want me to close the door? Or you leave it open?
Close it for
Speaking
now
of-
because I don't know if those gals are coming back to turn me.
Okay.
Speaking of DC Fontana,
Mm-hmm.
she wrote the script for Star Trek Bridge Commander.
No, she was in. She had a big hand in one. I wish the hell someone would pick this project. That Secret of Vulcan's Fury video game.
Oh, that
was
that
like
left a
that
that-
close
that-
to coming. Yeah.
that was going to be like a completion of the trilogy that started with 25th anniversary.
Mm-hmm. And they saw the testing for the time. I was like, wow, this is not bad.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think if I remember what happened, Interplay was just going under at the time.
Yeah,
honey.
if they had put it out, it might have saved them.
To the point where when Klingon Academy came out, it was full of
Mhm.
so many bugs they were only able to release 2 patches to try and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Honey.
Yes.
Didn't she write a lot for the Logan's Run series?
She wrote some, so did David Gerald, but
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No
All right.
award.
Yeah. But as for what was the story, Harlan's story, again, you can't really, supposedly they originally had space pirates in the alternate timeline, but that was kind of at the insistence.
Bless you.
That was sort of the insistence of we need some sort of outside threat. Okay, how about space pirates? Okay, fine, go with it. But I think originally they're not there. But originally he had a guy on the ship dealing drugs with nothing, and this other character went nuts. No, wasn't that? It was some guy got killed. This guy jumps ship and goes to the portal, goes to the Guardian, and Kirkus Buck have to go after him. And he's running around with zapping people with a phaser, And the same thing, he's like Kirk falls in love with Edith Keeler. But at the end, it's like he doesn't be there and stop, and let her get killed. No, he's going to reach out and save her. And Spock is the one that stops Kirk and lets Edith die like she's supposed to. It's like, that's really not the hero we're trying to build up here. Harlan Ellison didn't believe in heroes. Like I said, we're all fucked up in one way or another. We're all schmucks. So.
Yeah,
like,
you
no,
are.
we deal with it. Shut up. Now, and another thing is, Harlan had the big, he will do his own rewrites. Do not let someone else touch my words. That's what, that was a big thing. Well, again, Gene really hadn't dealt with Harlan that much, and he handed it off to the story editor, Steve Karabatz, I think, for the first run. It got back to Harlan. And the way it goes is, he's in the outer office waiting to go in to see Gene. He takes a little piece of rope or something, fashions it into a hangman's noose, hits it up outside, the entry of the door. So, hey, Charlie. So, when the door opens, Harlan's there, points to the noose. Tell me someone did not touch my words. Now, keep in mind, Harlan Ellison is probably about my height, give or take. Roddenberry was over 6 foot, a big bear of a guy, So then this guy would, attitude-wise, Harlan Ellison was Wolverine. Okay, do not cross him. So he they gave back to him for him to do rewrites. And it was one of the first guys signed to do a script for Star Trek, and it was like next to last episode to hit the air. It took that long to finally get the thing, and I think John D.F. Black took a run at it. It didn't work out. Gene Kuhn, I think, apparently took a run at it. Roddenberry took. I figured most of the final version of that script probably came from Dorothy Fontana, with one nidbit that has to be Roddenberry when she spouts out the thing about one day man will harness incredible energies, maybe even the end of it. That's Roddenberry. That's the kind of pontificating bullshit that Roddenberry used to do. So.
That was like the one that part of the episode I thought was a little cringe.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it was still a good episode, and Cable liked it, so I think Harlan was wrong to hold a grudge.
Well, you still have the core of it there.
Yeah.
It's like David Gerald did a similar thing with the Cloudminders. Originally, his thing was not, there was no Xenite gas. It was just simple depression. But they didn't, no, let's not, you need something else here. So, and they kind of did the same thing, took it out of his hands for the most part.
Yeah,
and they forced in this Xenite gas thing, and it still works. So that it's the case of there's the core is there. The premise of the story is still solid and there. So
yeah,
the rest of it's peripheral.
I mean, Star Trek is no stranger to rewrites. I remember the bluegill parasites that became the Borg.
Well, if you look on the writing credits for the first season of Star Trek, a lot of pseudonyms, which means Roddenberry pissed off a lot of writers. Because that's what they do when this script is no longer bears what they want. They take their name off it and use their registered pseudonym.
Side note here.
Yeah, Roddenberry was very my way or the highway.
He went through a lot of shit coming up, and his kind of things. They made me crawl. I'm going to make them crawl. And he had a very definite vision of how he wanted the show to go. So he would take it and just, and as purview as executive producer, he could do that. He rewrote. He had a hand in every script in the first season, to one degree or another.
Can I finish my point here?
I was still making my point. Go on.
Yeah, just on a little side note. Star Trek is one of the reasons I'm able to give my nurse practitioner a wound care so much shit. Happens to be happens to have the name of Tribble.
Yeah, her last name was Tribble. It's a married name. She kind of walked into it. But...
Speaking of Tribble, I've got a Tribble-like creature of my own. I have to go see too. I have a golden. She last I saw, she was taking a nap. I just want to make sure she's still asleep.
Oh, okay.
If not, I should probably give her some attention.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hop off.
Oh, okay. Have fun with your kitty.
Dog, actually.
Dog. Okay. All right, dog. Okay. All right.
You have a good one.
You too. But over the years, when Harlan was trying his hand at a website of his own, there was mentioned various writers through the years, usually for the novelists, wanted to use the Guardian of Forever in some capacity. He'd say, no, you can't touch it. And he still had rights over for the story. Like, no, you block it.
Didn't you say DC kind of had, some rights in that?
He was friends enough with Dorothy that, he allowed it in yesteryear as a mechanism for Spock to go back and save himself during the Coswan. But that was it. To that point, that was the only other time he saw the Guardian Forever used was in that one bit in the animated series. Everything else since that, no, you're not touching my story. No.
How much longer do you think you're going to go on? Because
I don't know, because eventually, because anime is going to be starting up is pretty soon.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get this out of But hopefully sometime soon we'll finally find an opening in Rob Meyer Burnett's crazy schedule. So we can get on and do a rant fest that'll bring down the rafters.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, what would Roddenberry now? One, I don't think Gene would have let him start in the first place. He would have done everything in his power. If he got a wind of what they're planning on doing, he would have done everything in his power to shoot it down. Just no, not happening. You're not touching my baby like that. Because this is can you imagine JJ trying to do what he did with Roddenberry still around? It's like he railed at experienced TV producers because they didn't quite get. You don't know the difference between a defect edition of them.
Okay, you just crossed
So
the hour.
Though like he never would have let JJ be hired in the first place. He certainly wouldn't have, if they were forced on him, he'd have sat on them until they learned what the hell they were doing. And then pounded the rules of the universe into their heads with a mallet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you just crossed the hour mark.
Okay, I think that's a good point to wrap it up. So with that, the usual, like, share, subscribe, pass it around. The subscription numbers are finally starting to rebound a bit, so that's good. It's back up to 1370 something. But I like to get get this thing where it's a going effort. And I like this, so it gets enough, enough of a subscriber base that I get regular viewership and actually get regular checks. Because right now it's like I'm still about halfway away from a check. You don't get paid out till it's over $100. And when that takes 6 to 8 months to even get close to that, that's a problem. So that's why I got this thing going to the bottom here. Here's what doing it more often. So on that note, we will talk at you later, kids.